Right, hello, my darlings. Back with a bit of a treasure haul of bits and bobs that's accumulated here. I'm going to try to do this in sections, starting with paper and books first. So I do hope everyone out there is all right. I hope your own treasure hunting has been fruitful. First few pieces here. I've got people in work now saving this stuff for me. So I've had a few pieces of this webby paper for packaging just in time for the Poe journal. So I'm very pleased with that. And Amazon paper that people are starting to collect for me. So that makes me very happy. So this was given to me by a friend. I've never seen this before. It's just like book cover kit random 2. And it's just pre-cut gray board from what I can tell. Sorry for the crinkling. It's just pre-cut gray board with a spine. So there's a spine. You've got a front cover and a back cover. And these that you can like randomly punch out as shapes to create a book cover. So I thought, yeah, don't get rid of it. I'll have it for sure. The pieces are already cut, so I might make myself a little art book to experiment with my little jelly plate that I had for my birthday this year. So yes, please. Books, not a great deal today. Book on herbs. What is this? Concise guide in color. This one was free. And it's with those types of illustrations on the pages. Love these. And I don't use them as often as I should really. I've got a couple up there that are very similar. But really I need to start using them more often for collage and pockets and tucks and things. So happy with that one. This is going into what I call my fodder books underneath my desk. And this is just a dictionary of scientific vocabulary. So a little bit different. That can go under with my fodder. This was £1. I haven't actually opened it. It says 30 blank Monet cards, but it was taped shut in the shop. So let's have a look. Cut the tape off. And no, it looks full. So blank cards and envelopes. Got that one. So yeah, they're quite glossy, but I could definitely use these for sure. That's a pretty one. And that one. So now happy with that for £1. Plus the envelopes. There we go. And another free copy of Edith. So I went into the same shop today. 3 free books. I've had that one, and the one on the bottom for free. Grabbed it as soon as I went in. And yes, it's a first edition. It's in really good shape as well. I mean, I don't even think it's been read. So yes, and Edith has got to be in my future after some of the finds I've had recently. So that one and that one. This one, ignore those prices. I think they were 10 pence in this particular shop. And it's a book of stencil designs. Again, the spine's not even been broken on it. It's not even been opened all the way. But as I'm starting to play with the idea of creating my own stencils, it's definitely a big learning curve to doing that. So I'm definitely going to use some of these to practice on for sure. So happy with that. And it's full. It's just designs. So happy with that one. And the last book is Pass Me Another Plate. And the illustration on the front is just, it was mixed up with a bunch of art books. That's cracked on there, but that's fine. It means I can probably release all. I can release them all as well, and retain that edge. But it's a book by a lady who painted China, and it's talking about the brush strokes. Try it again, Faith. But you've got sort of pages like that of the painted image that she would have put on a china plate, but then she's got the sketches in there as well, and like brush techniques and things like that. But I thought, yes, it's portrait, but these pages would be lovely folded that way in as junk journal pages, for sure. So no, I'm quite pleased with that one, because I can see how that would look. Yes, the writing, but if you folded that in half, I could foresee how that would look in a junk journal. So there's some lovely images in there. I mean, that mixed up with an Edith Holden, perhaps. Yes, happy with that one. Right, next category is fabrics and trims. So these I found a new fabric shop that I didn't know existed that sells remnants. So this was a big remnant piece of just like embroidered autumnal leaves, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the color on that. It is hemmed. It's edged on two sides. I think this was one of those sample pieces that hang in the shop. So no, really happy with that. More than enough on there to do a couple of covers. Went into the main fabric shop, Lee Mills in Swansea, and just got me a big piece of black cotton, because I don't have any left. And he had this up with his upholstery fabric, and it's like a faux leather, but it's got that sort of design stitch into it. So I only bought a half a meter, but a half a meter is enough for me, considering the size of it. So, don't know what I'm going to do with it. It can go into my stash for now. And then today, up in the climate shop, I found doilies, a whole pile of them. Some I'm going to keep for cutting up or to go into books, like that one. That's stitched onto a page or as a page. Ones like that, the smaller ones I'll keep, because that can go in as is, or I can snip the little circles out and use those. Some of these larger, heavier pieces, and the ones that have stains, I'll keep for my tea dyeing. Because what I have found is those that have a little bit of heavy, if you listen to it here, it's got a bit of a weight to it. And the ones that are a little bit heavier like that, like this one, are perfect for tea dyeing. So that may go into my basket of doilies for dyeing and distressing. Ones like that tend to wrinkle up don't do great for dyeing. They will dye. They will leave a relief behind. But it just means every time I'm washing them, they kind of shrink up again. But I might cut that one up. And again, some of these are damaged. They've got stains on them or holes in them. Another little one. Let's see what we got. I haven't even had, this is the first time I'm having a proper look at some of these. That would be nice on the cover of a journal. And I guess they can't all be tea stained. They don't have to stay white. That's a nice one for dyeing. Another one sort of this size. And I only paid a few pounds for all of them. I didn't pay much at all for the whole bundle. There's another one there. That seems like it's got a tiny bit of weight to the cotton. So again, that'll be lovely for dyeing. That's a nice one with a bit of a fine detail on it. That'll leave a lovely fine pattern on the paper. You missed tea through it. So yes, I am still planning on doing a video on how I do my dyeing. It's just having time from work to set it all up to do it, really. I need to, because I'm running really low on tea dye. Ooh, I like that. That pattern on that one. I've not seen one like that with those leaves coming out in that pattern. Oh, I really want to stain that one and see. So those are all my doilies. So I don't know how many that was. It's plenty enough to keep me going. And then all the ribbons and trims. So I had 2 bundles here from the Climate Shop. Oh, no, that one was part of that one. Those were priced. I think these were 10 trees each. So that was £2 each for the big bundles. And there's a lot on there. So these rubber bands off. That one is, that's a lovely pattern. And this one is, I haven't actually opened these and looked since picking them up. That's a nice one as well. So that is flat on both sides. That is directional. It's got a scalloped edge. I'm starting to notice that more and more when I'm going to look at trims and things to think how they're going to work in a book. If they can go in either direction or if they're meant to go in one direction, if that makes sense. So those, happy with. Those were mixed in there with them, these smaller little bits. And she threw those in there, I think, for £1. But these are quite lovely to snip off for small pieces as well, I think. Look, are they the same? Are they the same? They might be. Yeah, those are more or less the same. They're just a little bit squashed. So those are all the same. And then that one is, if I can get it undone. That's a nice one. That's upside down. Not much of it, but enough. A couple of bits of fluff stuck to it. Nope, happy with those. These were all in the sewing machine store for 2 for £1, and these are more or less all elasticated, like elasticated lace. So I've got a few blacks, one cotton, one few synthetic. That's kind of like a gray. Those are 2 grays, a couple of browns, and that tea colored one that's got a bit of detail on it. So happy with those. This was from my Craft Club stash, and it's just, I think it's self-adhesive, sticky ribbon, self-adhesive ribbon. Never used this before, but I'll give it a go. And these 2 bags I've not even opened yet. Let's have a look. I think these are wools. That's just like eyelash trim, white. I might take that and soak it in a bucket of tea and see if it takes it. And that is that, oh, it's the stringy one. Now I've got these in multiple colors. I don't think I've ever seen one all in one color. But it's just got those little dangly bits through them. I think people use them to make scarves. Happy with those. No idea what's in this bag. It was in a different charity shop. And I must have picked it up for something really silly money-wise, because I don't think I would have picked it up otherwise with all that glitter in there. Again, that more a Christmas box. Some black cord. Some pearls. Bit of gingham. Never know. And, oh, this is all just a bit random. Pink cord. More of that sequin trim. Not likely to use it, but we'll see. And ribbon. More metallic ribbon. Somebody's pinned all these together. And there's a big roll of that in there. Well, I don't know if I like that. It's got a funny feel to it. And it's glittery. And what else is in here? More Christmassy type ribbon. And I have no... Oh, that's like... What is that? It's like... I think this is for card makers. This is like adhesive. Cut a piece off here. Let's see. Like an adhesive ribbon to go down like that in gold. But that one is like like a cream color. That's not sticking at all. No idea what that is, unless it's tape that's just really old and lost and sticky. So a bit of randomness there. I'll go through that in more detail and decide what I'm going to keep and what can go live somewhere else with someone else. So we'll see. So I need to shift some things over to get the next lot of treasures up here. You see? So give me just a tick. Right, my darling. So here I've got another bag of sort of mixed haberdashery. It has fallen on the floor. This one I think was 50 pence. And we've got, what's in here? Oh, some more of that tape that's meant for gathers. So you pull the two strings and it gathers up into a ruffle. Happy with that. Yes, thank you. Oh, it doesn't need to go back in the plastic, but iron-on tape. That seems very hard. Heavy-duty iron-on tape from Woolworths for 35 pence. So that's going back quite a while. Because Woolworths went under in the UK about the same time I immigrated over here. So 2007, 2008. So this is old. Why is it so... It's very stiff. Right. I think that's got that coating on it. So I think I need to save that packaging. At least clip that on there so I know it's iron-on. Place adhesive side down and press with a moderately hot iron. So that needs to stay with that, I think. So I don't forget. Some strapping. I quite like the color on that. And I think this is all, that's like brown ribbon. Brown and black and gray. Two pieces of black of gray. That's seam binding. And a navy. Pleased with that. And then two random pieces of curtain top drawstring. So no, pleased with that as well. That can go away over there. And right, I did find some jewelry pieces. And I'm curious about this heavy one here. This is very heavy. It's just got some beads on it. And when I'm looking at jewelry in the charity shops to think, is it worth me picking up? I always look to see if I can easily release what's on there without much finagling with pliers. Because you don't want, you may find the most beautiful piece, but if you've got to sit there for an hour undoing hundreds of jump rings, I've got better things to do. So I find things that I can easily release. So let's try releasing that one. Is it wire or elastic? There we go. And here we go. It is wire. There. All that can go in the bin. I don't really need that closure. And I'm left with some beads. And now I've got like 1,000 silver bits with holes in it. That's all that necklace was constructed of. So what I'm going to do with them, I don't know. That one as well was... That one looks like it's on chain and looks like you'd have to undo everything. But if you look closer, the holes on these little feather bits and the teardrop bits, the holes are big enough for the chain to go through. So if I can get that chain snapped off, and I will save the closure on that one because that's a color I like. So let's see, what have I got to snip the chain with? Try not to bump the camera here. They're all in a pot just above. Is that going to snip? Look. Is it going to cut it? Come on. Try it again. No. Oh, yeah, I did. Snip the other one. These are really old, these are. I will save that. But all of that now is going to come off. Should come off in one go. Hopefully without flying around the room. Come on, last one. There we go. So that I will chop off later and save that lobster claw and the 2 larger jump rings that are on that. So those pieces now are ready to go to be dangles. Happy with that. Put those in there. And that one I won't cut up on camera. It's all tangled up now. But they're like some sort of shell. Or I think it's some sort of shell. But because a lot of these have 2 holes drilled in them, I think they might look like interesting embellishments on a page. Or through the center of sewn onto the center of a cluster. And again, that's just on with like knotted string. Actually melted string. So those will be quite easy to snap apart and release with a pair of scissors. And then that one, again, is just on cord. But you've got these dangles in that are ready-made to go onto something. Let me show you. Chop that off. Oh, it's got a knot in it. Chop below the knot to release it. Release everything. And I don't spend much for jewelry like this at all. But then I occasionally have those charity shops where you go in and you say, yep, I'll have that one. Once you've played with the broken jewelry enough, you kind of learn what to spot. So on that one, you've got ones like that there, which is like a ready-made charm now. That's a ready-made charm. That one's alright. That's a ready-made charm. That one's a ready-made charm. And that one is. And that one is. So, and then you've got beads then to go in to play with later, making other things. So no, I'm quite happy with that one. So pop all that away. Can go back into my little cubby hole over here where I keep the broken jewelry. Sorry for that side note. Another phone case. A little bitty one this time. Not a very big one. But that's okay. Easily fillable. Happy with that. And if you've not seen these, I've got one called Walkabout for Penelope, where I walk through how to turn these into a journal with a dangle off the end. So that can live with me. These were in a new pound store that I encountered. So I've got some quite wide hook and loop tape, Velcro. There's a fair bit on here. Let's see, there's about a 1/2 meter. It's 2.5 centimeters wide, which is about, what's that, about an inch? Yeah, about an inch wide, and 50 centimeters, half a meter of each one. So plenty enough to do. I've never used much Velcro to do a cover, but I picked it up because I thought I might try. I've got a time and date stamper here, and of course this is going to have like 2033, 2034 on it, but I want to play with it with some washi tape. Let's get it out. Because what I'm thinking, I've not had one of these before. I've never come across an antique one anywhere. But what I thought is if I can do the day and the month, I can go back with the day side and do a year. So if I want to do like 1892, I should be able to do it with that. I hope. But that was the idea. It cost me £1. So it's enough. I want to play with it. So that's staying out because I want to see if I can do some faux dates for the Poe journal for back during the time period when he lived. So that's going to stay out with me. And the last one I picked up in the shop were some S-hooks. And there were quite a variety in the shop. They weren't expensive. To see if I can use them above me where I am to hang things from around my craft room. So I just bought one set for now to play with to see how useful they might be. So, you never know what you're going to find. In the tip shop, I found a roll for 50p of drywall tape. Self-adhesive drywall tape. So, again, for 50p, I'll bring it home and play with it. So this stuff is just mesh tape that's meant to go on and secure drywall panels ready for plastering. So not something I've ever played with before, but you never know, especially with the Fallout theme journal. And I'm wondering if it would be useful for reinforcing a spine. I don't know. I'm still thinking on that one. And needles again. Found some embellishments and tools. So I went through, there was a stationery shop that had a whole bunch of these on offer. And I got 2 packs of feathers, £1 a piece. And they're not very big. But, again, like for that Poe journal, I want to take some now and play with distressing them and changing the color of them. Because right now it's just white, silver, and gold in there. Those I picked up because they're already sort of flattened. And if you've looked at fake flowers before and you do this, you know what I mean. Because sometimes you'll buy them. Well, these have got the stems on them. So you've got sort of that type of stem on there. I didn't notice that before. Because I don't want them to jut up that way. I want them to flatten down. And these are already quite flat. And those can be clustered together. I've just got to be able to snip a bit of that off without it completely coming apart. But £1 a pack, why not? Bit of mad money. So I'll try those. There was a pot of laser cut leaves, just all different shapes of leaves. For what was that? £1.75. I'll have that. Thank you. You can go in my collection. Bottle caps. Found a pack of. Oh, this was from Craft Club. So they're just blank bottle caps. How I might use them, I don't know yet, but they can go in with the hardware drawer, and we'll see. And again, Craft Club, I got some more of the ring handles that are the brads on the back. So, pleased with that. And I think that was Craft Club as well. Somebody was getting rid of them. There's a couple of red ones in there, a couple of black ones, and a couple of white ones. Yes, they got glitter. You know, I'm not going to leave that glitter spot on the center. I'll put something else to cover that up. A button, a gem, a bead, a piece of broken jewelry, something. But they're the right shape and the right, not flatness. Flatness is the wrong word. They're not too thick to sit on a page. They just need a little bit of TLC. And the white ones, of course, I can stain. These now, I have no idea. They were in the free bookstore, and those two are the same. Let's have a look. Felt pads, great as a backing medium for cards. So I think they're just pre-cut. Oh, these bags aren't going to make it at all. Get rid of it. They're just like, I don't think they're self-adhesive. No, there's no adhesive on them. Get a piece of paper so you can see. They're just foam. Yeah, it's some sort of like dense foam it's been cut out of. There's 2 packets of those. How many's in there? I don't think it says. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 squares. So I've got 12 to play with. Interesting. Don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. So, happy with that, and I have no idea what's in this. I think they're black flower petals. I think. I was standing in the shop. I didn't have great light, and I couldn't really tell what it was. Yes, they're black rose petals. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those. I might try to incorporate a few into the Poe journal. Yes, we'll try to get some in there anyway and figure out where they can live. I've got some white rose petals, and I've got some sort of cream-colored ones. So these can go away. I need to get them into a jar, actually, with the other white ones, because they don't fit in my drawer. Every time you open the drawer, they want to spring up and say hello. So, that's nearly it for that. I found these 2 tools. I have a vague memory of coming across one of these when I was young, when I was a young girl. I'm sure there was some sort of like hook and loop craft that you did with yarn. But this one now stays shut, and it's got quite a bit of tension on it. So I thought, if you're working with something that's got wire or ribbon on it, this is going to hold, I don't have anything to use in it. So that's going to hold something in place for you. Temporarily free your hands up to do something else. And nothing can slide off what you've been working on. So again, only a few pence I've paid for it. Any clue what its original purpose? But for me, it's just going to be a clampy tool. And this one was, looking at it, it's some sort of hole punch. And it's only got that one little hole in it. It doesn't appear to do anything else. It doesn't open. It's just some sort of punch. But what I think that's going to be the same size as your mini eyelets. So let's have a test. That one. Yep, it looks like the right size. Let's have a test. Yep, perfect. It's a perfect size for the mini eyelets. I don't know. I will keep it. Where it's going to live yet, I don't know. Right, my darling, sorry for going on and on. My last find I want to show you is a bit of a wild one I had off second place off Facebook Marketplace. And if any of you out there in America, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm talking about Altoid tins. These now you can't really get in the UK. You can order them. I think a small pack of these off Amazon is something like £40. It's stupid expensive for the Altoid brand name ones. It's not something you see sold over here. So that's one I've had for ages that came back with me from the States. The exact same tin construction with the exact same like hinged, the same hinged construction like that, and your two little notches there to keep your tin shut. So on Marketplace, there was a lady selling a case of, it's a case of 72, but she took 2 out, and she was selling the rest. So I've got 70 of these tins to play with. Now, it was £20 for all 70, but I had a look on Amazon, and I think you can get 20 or 22 for £20. And this is 70 for £20. And I ummed and ahed, and she said, you know what, I'm going to save this listing, and I'm going to go back and look at it in a couple of days. It's going to be gone. So I went and got it. So, but I've got my girlfriend's, not girlfriend, my son's girlfriend, who is Esprit Arts, and then I've got another friend who is Silly Siren, and we're going to split these 3 ways, because we've all got different ideas of how we want to play with them. You know, perhaps do mini scenes inside, mini journals inside, different sort of mixed media or pocket art ideas to go inside. So I'm really quite pleased with these. I just need to divvy these out now between the 3 of us and see. So we've got, you know, 70 to play with between the 3 of us for a couple of quid. So I'm pleased with that. So any of you junk journalers out there, have you done anything with these tins? And if so, please leave me a comment. Let me know. Have you painted them? Did you cover them with paper? You know, what types of things have you tried, you know, doing with the insides of them? So no, I'm intrigued, and I want to play, but I want to go and, you know, start looking for ideas and inspiration as well. So that's all for me for my treasure hunting. Quite an eclectic mix I've had this time around. Thank you ever so much for watching, and all my subscribers and all your support. And I hope you all have good fortune in your treasure hunting. So thank you, darlings, and hope to see you back again soon. Bye for now.